are these people?
Solari report. This is Catherine Austin Fitts. Catherine Austin Fitts is one of the smarter people out there when it comes to analysis. She's also a pretty big financial mind, friendly with Whitney Webb, and member of the Independent Media Alliance. Put out an article this week that I know Ryan Christian at The Last American Vagabond also read. And it's titled The Trump Administration Digital Control Grid Coming Together at High Speed. And she's trying to warn us of this digital panopticon that Whitney and Ryan and Derek Bros have been warning us about for years. She says, now that the Trump admin has been in charge of the U.S. executive branch for 2 weeks, here's what appears to be underway. Despite the chaotic appearance, the plan being implemented is highly strategic and has been in the planning stages for quite a while. Looking through the fog of omni-war, here is what the high-speed building of the control grid looks like so far. And she tackles this from a bunch of different angles. Let me see if I make this a little smaller. Yes. See, one of the cool things about Substack is they give you this little table of contents. So this tells you kind of section by section what to expect. You
coming to a Substack newsletter feedback near you.
The Real ID, all right, being supported with a strong push through the states. That's our digital ID thing. All right. The immigration effort also appears to be supporting a combination of digital IDs plus biometrics, also frightening. All right. Then you've got this Stargate stuff. The Stargate initiative involves the building out of data centers sufficient to support
a ring under NORAD.
Right, a complete control grid and all digital monetary system, because certainly our electrical grid can't handle all of this right now. And
no,
let alone the amount of data that we can process and store. So Stargate mRNA injections, that's frightening. The proposal for personalized mRNA vaccines for cancer and everything else. Thank you, Larry Ellison.
Safe and effective.
Right, yep. Indicates a plan to roll out the injection program sufficient to implement the Internet of Bodies and continue to lower life expectancy, allegedly. Stargate funding also helps support the ongoing global rollout of mega vaccine factories. I'm not sure how Musk's desire to add mesh networks to our heads fits in, as I suspect they think injections can get them most, if not all of the way. And it is much easier to market injections that are good for you, quote unquote, safe and effective.
Yes.
Right?
Very safe.
Switching fiscal control to the central bankers, which is what she says here, the Doge takeover of the Treasury payment systems. That's what we're going to talk about next. Combined with the purge of the civil service, is designed to end congressional control of fiscal flows and policies. That's bad. This leaves the New York Fed and global central bankers in complete control of the fiscal line. As a practical matter, Musk and his team, whatever private companies and foreign governments are now sharing those data, have replaced the executive branch in Congress in terms of control and operation on the fiscal side of government. They've now put a firewall and a layer between that. So Musk is operating as the titular Doge in the Venetian sense. All right. As Steve Bannon rightly points out, Musk and the Silicon Valley crew could not care less about the American people. We might as well start calling Musk President Musk. Again, Catherine Austin Fitts is calling this out even.
Yeah. Which, to me, this is like pandering to libertarians who think less government good, right? Meanwhile, they're axing all these organizations like USAID, like whatever, when really they're consolidating that power,
right,
and either making it more covert.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring it under state.
Even so much so as they're trying to bring Ron Paul in to like audit the Fed, which we already know he's controlled enough that that's actually not going to be what you want. Right? No offense, any Ron Paul likers, but you know, and then it'll be just, oh, well, we audited the Fed. It's fine now, you know. So, you know, meanwhile, the Pentagon will go unscathed.
Right. The social credit system, of course, he's looking like the Doge takeover of systems.
Yeah.
He's setting up the infrastructure to start a social credit system using federal payments. Hate crime accusations and entrapments are designed to assist here, meaning Beitar USA's, the people they accuse, for example, pro-Palestine organizations could end up, you know, devalued in this social credit system.
We chatted out of existence.
All right. Then, of course, as our friend, shout out to Golden Monarch in the chat, I saw him out there, crypto push. The testing of an all-digital transaction system continues using private crypto while a regulatory framework for crypto is being put in place, and stable coins are being used to significantly improve the dollar's ability to dollarize the emerging markets. Like using Tether.
With your Bitcoin,
and
your
Tether.
crypto, and everything else that you're playing with.
Tether, yes, like Tether. Any country with a weak currency that finds itself up against a strong dollar will find its citizens recruited into the dollar through stable coins accessed through their mobile phones and related payment apps. And allegedly, a lot of the Palestinians were being funded through Tether.
Yup. That is correct.
Interesting that Cantor Fitzgerald is funding that and footing that. Of course,
no one is above the law.
Talking about the land grab, one of the big goals is to use Bitcoin, which is a Ponzi scheme, and I'm so glad she sees that, to swap for real assets. $500 billion of land and minerals, as Howard Lutnick puts it. Howard Lutnick is a very scary individual. Chairman of Cantor Fitzgerald, head of Tether, just gave $775 million to Rumble. By the way, shout out to Rumble. Hi, Rumble. We're on there. If mandated, government purchases could run up the price of Bitcoin. Then the 2% who owns 70% of Bitcoin can swap their Bitcoin for land on a secret tax-free basis. They can achieve MBT, the real core of MAGA, make billionaires trillionaires. In addition, this will achieve the shutting down of federal cash flows and credit to average people, dramatically lowering the economic footprint of the average American, as, again, they're trying to do. Climate change wasn't working, but plunder will. The land grab play can be done through Lutnick.
As
and
a wise man once said.
That's it. All right. The land grab play can be done through Lutnick and the sovereign wealth funds, as well as Treasury through a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Shout out again to Golden Monarch talking about that with Senator Cynthia Lummis back in August, that they were pushing to try to get a strategic Bitcoin reserve through if and when Trump got elected. But that's bipartisan. They also bought off a bunch of Democratic senators and lawmakers to make that happen. Of course, included is the Gaza genocide, because to build part of the control grid, they need to move the Palestinians out to Jordan and Egypt or continue to genocide them. It seems that there's a bit of stall on who will take responsibility to get that done. Either way, it appears they believe they need Gaza's land, water, oil, and gas to complete the control grid, so the Palestinians need to go, as Trump clearly stated. Right. The picture is still somewhat unclear about how this will happen and how they'll finish clearing out Ukraine. But BlackRock will end up with the rebuild, you can guarantee. All right. From a marketing
of acquisition is greed is eternal.
True. Quark was just so far ahead of his time. A wide variety of ridiculous cultural and unethical medical schemes have built up hatred to a fever pitch. 70 plus genders, transgendering kids, late-term abortions, which don't really exist, money laundered to NGOs, that definitely does, destruction of women's sports, to name but a handful. But doing lots of damage, different actions to cancel all these things is so delighting Trump supporters that they failed to notice the shredding of the Constitution and the illegal coup. This combined with crypto. This is combined with crypto speculative profits and massive entertainment or entrainment pumping through TV and the internet, likely through porn, gaming, and crypto sites, as well as TV sports, to further support the coup and inspire the crowd to despise and or ignore any liberal or person who tries to warn that Doge's access to and use of Treasury's payment systems and other actions underway are massive violations of the Constitution and laws. Basically, they wanted to own the libs.
But they're going to get rid of the woke mind virus.
All you have to do is shadow ban and deride anyone who suggests the proper response is to enforce the law. Well, we don't like cops and people who enforce the law for the most part, but in this case, that's why we set up the laws. The marketing pitch is that past lawlessness justifies current lawlessness. Canceling out all sorts of heinous, ridiculous, and wasteful expenditures helps promote this. There's little understanding that where cancellation is done illegally, the courts will often reverse it, and the costs will often be more than the savings, and the dislocation and disruption that happens in the process, where we ended up back where we started to begin with. Why? Just to disrupt it.
Yeah.
This is what happened to the neocons during Bush 1. It's a classic neocon strategy. As the general counsel at HUD, who was later governor of Oklahoma and the executive director of the American Bankers Association, nice guy, once said while it was pointed out that it was illegal to abrogate a binding contract with a private enterprise, fuck them. By the time they win in court, we'll be gone. If you know what you're doing, you can cancel all this stuff relatively quickly on a legal basis, but it doesn't look like that's happening. As she says, the freedom fighting community is betting big on Booby, RFK Jr., and Tulsi controlled up.
Bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
And Tulsi controlled up PSYOP warrior Gabbard going into the administration, not understanding that they're full-on supportive of the land grab and Gaza genocide, which are the big plays. There's Ines. Yep. The administration has done a great job of furthering those two picks while muzzling the freedom-fighting community that's hoping to make progress on health, food, and other selected issues. The control grid and land grab will override any progress made on those fronts unless it is stopped, which it still can be. I'm not really sure how, but okay. She also talks about weather warfare, and this is one of the plunderer's aces in the hole. That weather warfare will continue to support the land grab on an ongoing basis and comes with the ability to manipulate the media, old and new, to suppress the death counts. The takeover of TikTok was necessary for this purpose. Weather warfare also
on top of things like making it so that citizen journalists can't storm chase and all that kind of stuff goes along with that.
Well, yeah, but also North Carolina, when they use weather manipulation potentially to flood an area that's rich in quartz, and they need that quartz and they want that area and they don't want to pay anybody to clear it out. Well, maybe they just flood it out, record.
Jewish space laser?
Something like that. Speculation, allegedly.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that she's saying this is a coup. All right. Last June, she said on Money and Markets that the leaders of the push for a totalitarian control model and the central bankers had decided to back Trump because he could deliver the conservatives into the model. What's happening now has been in the planning at least since then. Trump and Musk are simply kabuki theater. What I underestimated was the speed at which they would proceed with a full-on coup. However, given that the Defense Department and intelligence agency clouds have all been digitized and put in the hands of Silicon Valley, specifically Palantir, Alex Karp, Joe Lonsdale, and Peter Thiel, and intelligence agency clouds have been A complete re-engineering of the U.S. government through the digital systems is now possible at high speed. Well, one big question is how much they will cut off the federal flows. The more federal payments you cut, the faster you can do the land grab, cheaper the price, and the faster you can force everyone onto an all-digital monetary system. However, if you can mandate government purchases of Bitcoin, you can run the price high and keep your supporters drunk with speculative profits while you put everything else in place. One of the reasons why you've seen Bitcoin run up over 100,000 a coin. The first trial balloon she heard on using Bitcoin for the land grab, a proposal to shut down all federal flows overnight, was back in 2017, and it amounted to full-on shock doctrine. We've heard that before. Solari's deep dive report for the third quarter 2024 wrap-up is on Plunder and goes through case studies of how this has been done globally. So what Catherine's trying to do is understand what's happening and how do we capitalism our way through it and profit our way through
Capitalism.
it. The folks who have done this in Russia, in Eastern Europe, in Latin America, have sometimes said that after they finished with the world, they would do North America. This is a coup.
Yeah.
The goal is to destroy the Constitution once and for all. If they succeed, the central bankers will have complete control, as Bank for International Settlements General Manager Augustin Carstens has openly described. Notice that the New York Fed continues to run the debt and make sure the payments flow, and that the markets have not reacted in any dramatic way. That's because the smart money is comfortable with what's happening, and in fact, has generally anticipated what's happening. The U.S. executive branch does not run the dollar system, and they can only do what they do if the central bankers continue to allow the payments to flow in and out. As Catherine says, my recommendation to all of us is to bring as much transparency to this as quickly as possible and implement whatever is possible in your state to protect the Constitution and individual sovereignty. Do everything possible to protect the analog systems and cash and checks. See what the states can do. And from now on, as one brilliant ally suggests, I'm only going to refer to Musk as President Musk to help the MAGA team understand what's really happening. The reason why she keeps saying that is because he's looking to use the Treasury payment system specifically to steer stuff towards himself, towards people that work with him, to eliminate the payments toward the people that aren't friendly toward his companies as a punishment, but also to set the stage for him owning the payment system over the United States, which is what he's always wanted to do. PayPal, WeChat, WePay. All right. If the current effort is successful, our children and grandchildren will never know the blessings we've known. Human civilization can stop, but only if we let it. Keep freedom in your prayers and remind yourself that the bigger breakdown, the bigger breakthrough, may this year be endowed by grace and miraculous shifts that divine intelligence can bring. She's a smart lady, and she's trying to analyze it from a business perspective. Where's the money going? Where's the money pointing towards? Where does the money think this is heading? And how do we prepare accordingly going forward?
I know how we prepare. You know?
GUILLOTINE.
That's a good start. Now,
it is.
So if you are able to in any way, please share the stream first of all. Take care of your friends, take care of your family, as Care Bear likes to say. But if you're able to and you've got a few bucks, Cash App, $, Indie News Network is the easiest, best way to do that without fees. ko-fi.com/Indie News Network or paypal.me/Indie News Network eliminates the Ko-fi fee. And then Substack, that's our
shout
newsletter.
out Care Bear who gave us $5 earlier.
Hey, yeah, no, thank you, Care Bear.
Appreciate you, fam.
Hell yeah, brother. That's our wall of fame. Those are the best people in the world. Those are the people we live. Because guess what? They support our network.
People?
Who are these people? Well, there's their names right there. Those are the ones that have actually contributed and tipped our channel and tipped our live streams and are trying to contribute to the media they want to see and funding the media they want to see. Because corporate media ain't telling you stuff like that. These are the people that would help us get our reporting back if we ever got shut down. These are the amazing people that are on our wall of fame that support our channel, our network, and what we do here. They fund the media they want to see.
Show me the money!
We've got Cash App is $Indie News Network. They'll be down in the ticker scrolling there. You've got co-fi.com/Indie News Network, paypal.me/Indie News Network, and you can also subscribe monthly. Yes, that you can subscribe at innnewsletter.com on a monthly or an annual basis. Certainly, we are demonetized, and YouTube doesn't like stories like that. So please, if you can,
will not be televised.
it certainly will not. But I don't also think that it will end up allowed on YouTube in the end, which is why we're working toward a self-hosting solution at some point that we're going to be able to direct everyone to a website, and then we'll be able to chat via a Discord server, and
modern problems require modern solutions.
All will hopefully be avoidable of the major censors, so we can keep saying what we want to say, and nobody's going to try to stop us. Support independent media because we need it more than ever.
Yep. Keep listening to what Boats have to tell you, fam. Good night.
Mwah. Ciao, baby.
No! We just fucking lost the stream!
You can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. No, I play civil when all these dead won't make you listen. What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? God, I thought we were founded on abolishing the tyranny of those who would starve a village all to live empirically. And I regret that I have only one life to give for my cause now that I can see the cause so clearly. See, I want our leaders, regardless of party, to fear me.